Welcome to Buried Truths, the ancient secrets hidden beneath the Philippines. In this video, we journey deep into the heart of the islands to uncover lost civilizations, forgotten rituals, and mysterious artifacts buried for centuries. From ancient gold treasures to hidden cave systems and unexplained megaliths, the Philippines holds secrets that challenge what we think we know about its past. Join us as we explore these hidden wonders, speak with experts, and reveal truths long kept underground. Get ready for a fascinating dive into the untold history that's been waiting just beneath the surface. Let's uncover the buried truths together. The Philippines, a sprawling archipelago of over 7,000 islands, is often celebrated for its tropical beauty, rich biodiversity, and vibrant culture. However, beneath its lush landscapes and beneath the ocean floor lie stories untold, relics unclaimed, and civilizations unacknowledged. The history of the Philippines did not begin with Spanish colonization in the 16th century. Long before Magellan's fateful arrival, complex societies flourished on these islands, leaving behind traces that are only now beginning to be discovered. Buried Truths, the ancient secrets hidden beneath the Philippines, delves into these forgotten layers of history, uncovering myths, oral traditions, archaeological finds, and unrecorded human narratives that suggest the islands were once home to sophisticated cultures. These truths challenge the linear and colonial understanding of Philippine history and open up possibilities that the islands played a far more significant role in ancient global interactions than previously believed. Chapter 1. The Depths of Time, an Ancient Past. Before we look into specific secrets, we must acknowledge the antiquity of the archipelago. Recent archaeological findings suggest that humans have inhabited the Philippines for tens of thousands of years, far earlier than most historical texts assert. In 2018, the discovery of Calao Man in northern Luzon sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Dated to approximately 67,000 years ago, Calao Man predates the previously known Taban Man by tens of thousands of years. This alone reconfigures our understanding of Southeast Asian migration and human evolution. The presence of such early human species on the islands, likely a new species altogether, indicates that the Philippines was not a cultural backwater, but a major crossroads of ancient humanity. What secrets remain buried alongside these early inhabitants? And what cultures did they give rise to? Chapter 2. The Lost Kingdoms and Cities. Most Filipinos are familiar with names like Raja Suleiman, Lakandula, and Raja Humabon, rulers who governed parts of the islands during the time of Spanish arrival. But evidence suggests that before these figures, much older and more extensive political structures existed. One such mystery is the Luwaran Confederation of Majaaz, a legendary kingdom believed to have been established by Bornean Datus, who fled tyranny and founded settlements in the Visayas. According to the oral legend of the Maragdes, these rulers established highly organized communities with intricate laws, trade systems, and cultural practices. Many historians debate the authenticity of the Maragdes, but archaeological digs in Panay and nearby islands have unearthed gold death masks, burial jars, and pottery, indicating a civilization more complex than previously assumed. Could it be that these legends are not mere stories, but historical records passed down orally for generations? If so, what became of these kingdoms, and what truths were deliberately buried? Chapter 3. Gold, Trade, and Hidden Wealth. One of the most astonishing archaeological discoveries in the Philippines is the Surigao treasure, unearthed in 1981, comprising more than 100 pieces of pure gold, masks, belts, earrings, and body ornaments. This treasure is a testament to the sophisticated craftsmanship and wealth of ancient Filipino societies. Dated between the 10th and 13th century CE, The gold artifacts rival those found in ancient civilizations, such as Mesopotamia or Egypt. Furthermore, the Balangay boats found in Butuan City, dating as far back as 320 CE, suggest a thriving maritime culture. These boats, perfectly preserved under mud and soil, indicate that ancient Filipinos were not merely villagers, but skilled seafarers engaged in trade across Southeast Asia and beyond. Butuan, long considered a peripheral city, may once have been a powerful trade hub linking the Philippines to India, China, and Arabia. What happened to these golden ages? Did natural disasters, war, or foreign invasions cause their decline, or were they systematically erased by colonial narratives? Chapter 4. The Spirits of the Earth, Sacred Sites, and Forgotten Beliefs. Across the Philippine archipelago are ancient megaliths, burial sites, and sacred mountains that hint at spiritual practices tied deeply to nature and the cosmos. The Ifugao rice terraces, often touted as the eighth wonder of the world, are more than agricultural marvels. They are sacred landscapes tied to ancestral worship and cosmology. There are also lesser-known sites like the petroglyphs of Angono, dating back 3,000 years. These carvings of human figures, animals, and symbols etched into cave walls suggest a prehistoric form of art and communication. Their true meaning remains elusive, but they point to a lost spiritual system rooted in animism, astronomy, and ancestor veneration. Colonial influence attempted to erase these belief systems, branding them as pagan or savage. Yet, these sites continue to speak through silence, urging us to reconnect with ancient wisdom and spirituality buried under centuries of conversion and suppression. Chapter 5. Sunken Cities and Vanished Settlements. The seas around the Philippines may hold as many secrets as the land itself. Stories from coastal communities across the island speak of sunken towns, temples, and settlements lost to time. Some of these tales have been dismissed as folklore, but modern sonar and diving explorations suggest otherwise. For instance, off the coast of Mindoro, divers have found remnants of what appear to be underwater structures, stone formations, walls, and stair-like patterns. Similar anomalies have been noted in Tabataha Reefs, Coron, and other deep-sea regions. While natural geology may explain some of these formations, their symmetry and positioning suggest man-made origins. Could these be remnants of ancient cities lost to rising sea levels or cataclysmic earthquakes? And if so, how many more lie undiscovered beneath the waves, holding keys to civilizations that vanished without a trace? Chapter 6. Colonial Erasure and Historical Amnesia. One of the greatest barriers to uncovering the Philippines' ancient secrets is the legacy of colonial suppression. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, they did not merely conquer land. They rewrote history. Indigenous scripts, such as Baybayin, were suppressed, sacred artifacts were melted or destroyed, and native religions were demonized. Spanish chroniclers, often biased, dismissed local traditions as superstition and replaced them with Christian narratives. Worse, much of the pre-colonial knowledge was oral. With the loss of elders during wars and epidemics, centuries of wisdom vanished. Today, most Filipinos are taught a version of history that begins with colonization, leaving thousands of years of rich heritage unexamined. In recent decades, scholars, activists, and cultural workers have begun the slow process of decolonizing Philippine history, piecing together what was buried. But the work remains immense, and the political will limited. Chapter 7. Echoes in Myth and Legend. In a land so deeply spiritual, myths are more than stories. They are vessels of memory. Many Filipino epics, such as the Hudhud of Ifugao, the Hinalawad of the Visayas, or the Durangon of the Maranao, encode ancestral memories, migration tales, and cosmic events. What if these were not mere fabrications, but metaphorical records of real events? Take the legend of the Bakunawa, the sea serpent that tried to swallow the moon. On one level, it's a mythological explanation for eclipses. On another, it may be a symbolic memory of a cataclysmic flood, a celestial event, or even an ancient enemy. Similarly, the tale of Beno's giant ancestors could be rooted in the now extinct Homo luzonensis species. These legends, when examined alongside archaeological evidence, provide a powerful counterhistory to written colonial texts. Chapter 8. The Awakening, Reclaiming the Buried Truths. Today, a new generation of Filipinos is beginning to look inward, reclaiming identities, rediscovering traditions, and reigniting curiosity about the past. Movements promoting Baybayin revival, indigenous heritage, and archaeological conservation are gaining traction. Institutions like the National Museum, University of the Philippines Archaeological Studies Program, and local cultural groups are excavating sites, preserving oral history, and challenging colonial timelines. There's also a growing interest in alternative archaeology, where local knowledge is placed at the center of inquiry. Communities are being engaged not just as subject to study, but as co-researchers, guardians of wisdom passed down through generations. Yet many sites remain underfunded, and much of the research is sidelined by more modern concerns. If the Philippines is to truly rediscover its greatness, it must embrace the depths of its past, not just the colonial chapters, but the ones written in gold, stone, and spirit. The call for depth. In an age where information is abundant, understanding is increasingly shallow. We scroll, skim, swipe, and summarize. Opinions are often mistaken for facts, and speed is valued over substance. The challenge, then, is not access to knowledge, but the depth of engagement. Toward deeper understanding is more than a phrase, it's a call to action. It invites us to move beyond surface-level thinking, to explore beneath assumptions, and to cultivate insight that is reflective, empathetic, and transformative. Whether in history, relationships, identity, spirituality, or learning, a deeper understanding reshapes how we live, interact, and envision the world. This essay explores what deeper understanding truly means, why it matters, and how we can nurture it in ourselves and our communities. Chapter 1. Understanding versus information. We live in the information age, a time when data is available at our fingertips. A few clicks can reveal anything from the origins of the universe to the latest celebrity scandal. Yet with this explosion of knowledge comes a paradox. Many people know more, but understand less. Understanding is not the same as possessing information. While information involves facts and figures, understanding requires context, meaning, and synthesis. For example, one can know historical dates or scientific laws, but fail to grasp their implications, human consequences, or ethical dimensions. In practical terms, understanding requires critical thinking, the ability to question, analyze, and evaluate; perspective, seeing a subject through multiple lenses; application, translating knowledge into practice or relevance; empathy, relating intellectually and emotionally to others' experiences. When we approach any subject with these elements in mind, we begin to move from mere knowledge to deeper understanding. Chapter 2. Understanding the Self. Perhaps the most fundamental journey of understanding is knowing oneself. Yet self-understanding is not easily achieved. It demands honesty, vulnerability, and reflection. The Greek aphorism, "Know thyself," speaks to the importance of this inward journey. To understand yourself deeply is to recognize your patterns, motivations, fears, dreams, and limitations. It involves asking, why do I react the way I do? What experiences shaped my worldview? What biases do I carry, knowingly or unknowingly? In psychology, Carl Jung introduced the idea of the shadow self, the unconscious part of our personality that we often reject. Facing it is uncomfortable, but doing so leads to integration and growth. Only when we see ourselves clearly, beyond ego, pride, and defensiveness, can we understand others and engage the world authentically. A deeper self-understanding also allows for resilience, purpose, and clarity. It becomes the compass by which we navigate a complex and often contradictory world. Chapter 3. Understanding Others. Understanding others goes beyond tolerance or politeness. It is the heart of empathy, a profound awareness of another person's inner world. In our diverse societies, this form of understanding is essential for social harmony, compassion, and justice. Yet how often do we truly listen? Too often, we listen to reply, not to understand. We filter others' words through our biases, cultural frames, or personal anxieties. We rush to conclusions or invalidate experiences that don't align with ours. Deeper understanding of others requires active listening, being fully present without judgment, suspending assumptions, being open to narratives unfamiliar or uncomfortable, cultural humility, recognizing that no one culture or worldview is superior. One striking example is interfaith dialogue. In a world divided by religious misunderstandings, those who engage in patient, respectful conversations discover that beneath doctrinal differences often lie shared human values, compassion, justice, mercy, and love. The same is true in race relations, gender discussions, or political debates. Understanding does not require agreement, but it demands respect and curiosity. Chapter 4. Historical Understanding. History is not a mere timeline of events. It is the collective memory of humanity. However, history taught without depth often becomes a tool of propaganda, nationalism, or erasure. To understand history deeply is to critically examine who writes it, what is left out, and how it continues to shape the present. For example, colonial histories often glorify conquerors while silencing the colonized. National narratives may highlight victories while minimizing atrocities. Textbooks can perpetuate myths, stereotypes, or one-sided views. In the context of the Philippines, for instance, deeper historical understanding requires us to move beyond Spanish colonization and look at pre-colonial civilizations, indigenous knowledge, and the role of oral tradition. Only by acknowledging these deeper roots can a nation reclaim its identity with pride and nuance. Historical understanding also allows us to avoid repeating mistakes. It fosters accountability, justice, and reconciliation, be it in post-colonial societies, after wars, or in movements for civil rights. Chapter 5. Understanding Culture and Identity. Culture shapes how we see the world, what we eat, how we speak, how we relate, and what we value. Understanding culture deeply involves both honoring our heritage and being open to others. In multicultural societies, it's easy to fall into stereotypes or superficial appreciation. Real cultural understanding asks, what are the values behind certain customs? How does language reflect a people's worldview? What historical forces shaped this culture's development? Identity, similarly, is not static. It is layered, ethnic, spiritual, national, gendered, and more. A deeper understanding of identity involves acknowledging intersectionality, how various aspects of a person's identity interact with each other, often compounding discrimination or privilege. Take the example of a young, indigenous, LGBTQ+ person in a rural area. Their experience of life cannot be understood through one identity label alone. It requires nuanced empathy, listening, and respect for complexity. Chapter 6. Understanding in Learning and Education. True education is not about memorizing content, but about developing wisdom. In many traditional school systems, students are rewarded for regurgitating facts, but not for questioning, analyzing, or creating. A deeper learning process involves inquiry-based learning, encouraging students to ask questions and explore. Interdisciplinary connections, linking ideas across subjects to form holistic understanding. Experiential learning, learning through doing, reflecting, and applying. Teachers, therefore, must shift from being mere instructors to becoming facilitators of understanding. Likewise, students must learn how to learn, developing skills like critical reading, ethical reasoning, and creative problem-solving. With deeper understanding in education, we produce not just workers, but thinkers, innovators, and compassionate leaders. Chapter 7. Spiritual and Philosophical Understanding. Spirituality, often misunderstood or dismissed in modern discourse, offers some of the deepest forms of understanding. Whether rooted in religion, indigenous practice, or personal reflection, it seeks to answer the most fundamental questions. Who am I? What is my purpose? What connects all life? In traditions across the world, from Buddhism to Christianity, Islam to indigenous cosmologies, spiritual understanding involves moving inward, letting go of ego, and seeking unity with the divine or the universe. Philosophy, similarly, invites us to reflect deeply on ethics, meaning, and truth. Thinkers like Socrates, Confucius, Rumi, or indigenous elders invite us to live examined lives, to engage with mystery and paradox, and to embrace both reason and wonder. A deeper spiritual and philosophical understanding fosters humility, reverence for life, and a sense of interconnectedness. It teaches us that knowledge without wisdom is dangerous, and power without compassion is destructive. Chapter 8. The Obstacles to Deeper Understanding. While the need for depth is clear, many forces today discourage it. Distraction. Constant digital stimuli make sustained attention difficult. Polarization. Social media algorithms reinforce echo chambers. Consumerism. The culture of more devalues contemplation. Pride and defensiveness. Many fear being wrong or vulnerable. These obstacles are not insurmountable, but must be consciously resisted. They demand new habits of thought. Taking time to read long texts. Listening to those we disagree with. Reflecting in silence. Practicing humility and gratitude. Deeper understanding is not passive. It is an act of will and courage. Toward wholeness. To move toward a deeper understanding is to strive for wholeness in how we see ourselves, others, and the world. It means embracing complexity, seeking truth, and being open to transformation. It is not an endpoint, but a path, a continuous process of learning, unlearning, and relearning. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to see what lies beneath the surface. In an age that prizes quick answers and shallow certainty, choosing depth is revolutionary. It is the soil from which wisdom grows, the bridge that connects divided people, and the compass that guides us through uncertainty. Let us then walk with curiosity and courage. Let us listen more deeply, think more critically, and love more fully. Let us move, not just forward, but toward a deeper understanding. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the buried truths beneath the Philippines, a land rich with ancient secrets, forgotten civilizations, and untold legends. If this glimpse into the past sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into hidden histories. Drop a comment below. What do you think lies beneath our feet? Until next time, keep digging for truth, stay curious, and remember, the past is never truly gone. It's just waiting to be uncovered.